A little handicapped here. I'm down under. Having a nice time down under. Jesus Christ. I fucking made it over here, everybody. 14-hour flight. You know, with no drugs. I was thinking of, watching a couple of movies and then taking some drugs, and I worked it out. I got on the plane. I immediately fell asleep. And I slept for maybe, about 6 hours. And then I just watched movies. Well, what'd you watch, Bill? Well, I watched Caddyshack. Then I watched On the Waterfront. Then I watched National Lampoon's Vacation. Chevy Chase, still fucking hilarious. And then I watched a Bee Gees documentary, which got really fucking boring really quickly. And then all of a sudden we landed. And that was it. So there you go. I know I watched something else in there. There was something else random that I started to watch. I started watching a couple of documentaries. And I know what you're thinking, Bill. Who the fuck would ever watch a goddamn documentary on the Bee Gees? Well, I had 14 hours to kill. All right, you judgmental cunt. And not to mention the Bee Gees are from Australia. I figured maybe I'd see something in there that I could bring to my live shows. Or whatever. So we land here at like 6:30 in the fucking morning. We left at 10 o'clock at night, Monday night. Flew for 14 hours, and by the time we got here, it was 6:30 Wednesday morning. You lose a day. There's an 18-hour fucking difference between LA and here. I don't know if this is interesting. I don't even know if you can hear me. I don't fucking know. Yeah, so then it was weird, because then we landed here, and then I had to stay up until fucking about 9:30 at night to try and get on the clock. And I don't know, it took a couple of days. I kept bitching about being jet lagged to the point I think Dom Irera was going to slap me in the face. I think I had like 14 conversations with him about how I couldn't go to sleep. And the lovely Nia, she's more of a hippie free spirit than I am, right? She just took sleeping pills the first night and was fine. And I'm all sitting here, trying to be fucking Johnny Natural, bitching about what the fuck they do to your liver, like I'm some sort of a doctor. So finally the third day here, I actually took some sleeping pills. And I slept through the night, and I felt great. So there's one for the druggies. Hey, man, just take a sleeping pill, man. It actually works. So anyways, I performed at this Sydney Opera House downstairs in the basement. It was a 400-seater, and did 3 nights. Every show was packed. And just great crowds, and it was a total. This trip was a total success, and I'm definitely coming back here because not only did the people come out, it's just a great country. I don't have one fucking bad thing to say about Australia, other than the fact that Sydney is expensive. Jesus Christ, is this fucking place expensive. And I lived in New York City, and that place is expensive. Okay? It's not like I'm some sort of redheaded farm boy over here. Okay? You're not talking to fucking Huck Finn. I'm not sitting here barefoot with a goddamn fishing pole over my shoulder. All right? Oh, I got one bad thing. One bad fucking thing. All right? Last night, we were coming back from watching these bats fly out of the park. They call them flying foxes. I guess they're furry. It was night. It was nighttime, and they're all, hundreds of fucking bats flying out. It was awesome. And so we're hungry, and we were going to go to the Burger King out here, but they don't call it Burger King. They call it Hungry Jack's, because evidently there was some other guy out here who already had a place called Burger King, and he sued the Burger King Corporation, and somehow he won. So for some reason, Burger King settled on the name Hungry Jack's. I don't know why. But they have the exact same logo in the menu. So we go into Hungry Jack's. And as we're standing there, all of a sudden, this guy in a tank top comes in with these two blonde girls. And one of them is just loud as fucking hell. Like, I'm standing there, and then she goes like, hey! Some crazy fucking laugh. Like, really close to my ear. Like, and I'm thinking, did she just do that to fuck with me, or can she not handle her alcohol? And then, I guess, on their cell phones, they had some coupon for a free burger or something. So she goes, look, I got a coupon for a free burger. And she fucking reached past my face and shook her cell phone in front of my fucking face. And I can't believe I didn't slap her fucking phone down into the fryer area. It's been bugging me. And when she went to order, she said to the guy behind the counter, she goes, just meat and cheese, just meat and cheese, just meat and cheese, like 3 times in a fucking row. Just being a total obnoxious cunt. And I tried to not let her get to me, but I just kept replaying that fucking shaking the phone in my face. She did it. She shook it right in my fucking face, and I didn't do anything. I was so, like, surprised. And then there's that weird, like, it's a woman, so you got to do the math. Like, what do I do? Like, I'm telling you, the amount of times today, the fucking violent thoughts. I kept trying to think of anything I could have said, anything I could have done. The only solution I could have thought of, other than what I did, which was nothing, they were all violent solutions. I thought about, well, what if I just took my shake and dumped it over her head? And the fantasy immediately went to me taking a burger and, like, mushing in her face / like punching her with the palm of my hand through the bread, which would be considered assault. I thought about dragging her out by her fucking hair and then throwing her cell phone like fucking Randy Johnson in his heyday and having it smash right above her head, and then just sitting watching her cry as I went back in and got my food. And somehow in all of these I never got arrested. But that was the only one bad thing. Like, this girl was like so overdue for a fucking ass kicking. I really wish I just knew, like, those chicks who fight in the UFC? I just wish I knew one that was in the vicinity and could have just had her come in and dress like really, like, all girly and just kind of act sheepish and just let that girl come up and do the obnoxious thing shit that she was doing. Oh my God. I would have paid $500 to have a woman not just, if there was a service, I would have paid $500 to fucking watch a woman go in and just knock this bitch out, because she just, it would have made her a better person. It really would have. Like today, I'm fucking sitting here, doing touristy shit. I walked from Bondi Beach to Coogee Beach or whatever. Fucking incredible. They got all these sand sculptures. I don't know what the fuck they call them, sculptures and stuff. I gotta be honest with you, I could give a flying fuck about them. Sculptors, you know what they do? They take like a garden hose and some PCP pipe or whatever the fuck it is. They take junk from the kitchen and they make like a fucking, I don't know what, a rocket ship out of it. Yeah, I've never been into it. It's clever, but you've seen one, you've seen them all. Nia, on the other hand, absolutely fucking loves them, so she's stopping at every goddamn one of them. It's windy as hell. I got salt spray in my face, but I'm liking it though. I'm liking the elements, but half of the walk, I just kept thinking of grabbing that girl last night by her hair and throwing her off the cliff. She lives, but she breaks her fucking hip, and she deserves it. And when she looks at me like, why? Yeah, I just say, 'cause you're a cunt. And that's the end of the fantasy. Is that bad? Other than that, I had a great fucking time out here. Back to my trip here. What did I do? I went to the zoo. I went to the zoo, and earlier that morning, one of the zookeepers, unfortunately, a lovely woman, got crushed against the wall by a baby elephant, or an adolescent one, you know? And everybody was feeling bad for her, and we all hope that she gets better, but, you know, it's one of those fucking deals. They don't want to be there. That was the overwhelming vibe that I got, like, especially the fucking chimpanzees and the gorillas. Okay? You know what I would love? What I would absolutely love is to go to church someday and listen to some guy speaking that fucking creationism mumbo fucking jumbo, and in the background just have a bunch of apes sitting in cages staring at people in the fucking crowd of the church. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't give a fuck how much you're into Jesus, how much you're into Muhammad, whatever the fuck you're into. There's no way to look a fucking monkey in the eye and not know exactly where the hell we came from. There's just no way. Somewhere along the line, they broke left and we broke right. But I'm telling you, if you go up the family tree fucking long enough, look at my dumb face. You're telling me I'm not half orangutan? There's no fucking way. There's no goddamn way. Those motherfuckers, they are just a cunt hair away from being human, and they're aware that they're being watched. They don't want to be in there. You know what was really bad? They had this giant area where they were playing, and then they had this one area where they could kind of walk into like this little cave, you know, and they walk into the cave trying to get a little fucking peace and quiet, just don't want to be stared at anymore, and there's a big window so we can see them in there, and I see this one goes in there, and I of course run up like the tourist that I am, and this motherfucker gets in there, starts going wah, 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 wah. He's fucking slapping the walls and jumping around, and I said to Nia, like, that one does not is that's the one right there that's going to rip your face off, because, you know, that dude's the man. And he's caged up, all right? You got a fucking alpha male there, like, he's not a bitch. And he doesn't want to be in there. And him just slapping the wall, and whatever the fuck he just yelled in chimpanzee, if you translated it to English, would basically be like, you motherfuckers are so lucky that glass is there, because if you weren't, I'd rip all your faces off, I'd rip a couple feet off, and a bunch of ball bags. So consider yourself lucky. So anyway, so I leave, Nia stays, and all of a sudden the monkey starts fucking acting up, and somebody's standing there going, saying he's going to charge the glass. And that's exactly what the thing did. And everybody jumped back, and then another monkey ran in there, and all the humans were like, oh, they're going to fight. And when the other monkey ran in there after the alpha chimp flipped out, when he ran in there, the two of them just hugged each other. And then they sat down and started grooming one another. It just made me feel bad. You know? I don't mind you know, you're going to stick something in a cage, make it a reptile. Those fucking idiots, they don't know what's going on. You know? All you got to do is throw a dead mouse at them every couple of hours and they're fine. The reptiles are the mouth-breathing morons of the fucking animal kingdom. They're clueless. You know? It's like those people that sit out in the bleachers. You know? Those jackasses. Those are reptiles. But, oh, by the way, the two major animals here, koalas and kangaroos, not a fan of either one, now that I've seen them up close. Koalas, like, they just got that look on their face. It's depressing. You know, I was joking on stage, my shows down here. I was saying the reason why I didn't like koalas, because when I looked into a koala bear's face, it reminded me of every time I quit in life. You know, they just have that fucking, you know, what's the point, man? You know? They're just sitting there high off that fucking eucalyptus shit they eat. They're like potheads. For some reason, they remind me of Tom Bosley. You know? Mr. C, Mr. Cunningham on Happy Days. Like, if Mr. Cunningham was a fucking animal, he would be a koala bear. Mr. Cunningham would be. Not Tom Bosley, okay? Because obviously, he didn't sit around and do nothing. The guy made it as a fucking character actor. All right? And kangaroos are fucking rats. They're rodents. They got this little fucking head that's really weird. They're just creepy. All right? And my version of a kangaroo were those funny ones that they drew in cartoons. They're not funny at all. They're fucking like 6 feet, 6'1". They're like as big as Eli Manning. And they can, basically rip your guts out with their front feet if they choose. And they can jump twice as far as Michael Jordan. So that's pretty scary. See, I learned shit when I was over here. You know? You guys just think I'm going around drinking fucking beers, which I did. Really, Bill, can you recommend a good Aussie beer? Yes, I can. Little Creatures Pale Ale. It was fucking delicious.